Hi everyone, welcome back to store 343 in Kansas City. I'm Kaylee and I am again so excited to be considered for the Services District Educator position. I believe my experience with Ulta Beauty, not only as a master designer, a Rystrom certified hair colorist, a former salon manager, but a part of the artistic educator team really qualifies me for this position. But today I'm going to show you some fun things, so let's go on back. So today we're going to be working on Makayla, who is my salon manager. Makayla was really inspired by our summer trend, the chilled blonde look. So we're going to be lifting her hair. Because we are lifting her hair, her and I talked about her extensive hair history being a stylist. There's vivid colors underneath there, there's semi-permanent, there's some permanent colors. So we're going to see what we can bring out and what we can counteract. We have already done a test strand on her hair yesterday. You can see that throughout the front. We've done a patch test on her as well. She talked about some concerns she had with a few lighteners. We've already pre-cleansed her and we did a cat treatment on her really to just help with the integrity of her hair. So that's what we're gonna do for her color. For her cut today, she's got a gorgeous pixie. We're just gonna clean it up, give it some funk, add some texture, and have a lot of fun. So we're gonna get her caped up and then go over and talk about some formulas. So when we're lifting pigment out of the hair, we have a ton of different options. We have the option to use our ULTA Color Renew system. However, we won't be using that today. We know that the ULTA Color Renew works best when used on permanent color because Makayla has so many different color types in her hair, it's not going to get the best results. We have the option to do a flash wash with Rystrom Flash Lift or Blonde Dimensions. Again, we're really trying to maximize our lifting power, so we're not going to be using that. Because she has vivids, we do have the option to use the So Color Cult Eraser, but we're not going to be using that either. So we're going to stick with a good old-fashioned Rystrom Lightener. We're going to be using our Blonde Idol Blue Oil Lightening System. This is by far, hands down, my favorite on the scalp lightener. It's an oil-based lightener, so it's really gentle to the scalp and really helps keep the client's health intact. We're going to be doing that on her base, and then through her mid-strand and ends, her zone 2, we're going to be using Redken's up to 7. We're going to be using that with our Pro Oxide Cream Developer. We're going to be using a 1-to-1 ratio, 11 grams of lightener with an ounce of developer. In our zone 2 application, we're going to be using our pH bonder as well because we know that zone 1 is hair that's not fully keratinized. It's still really soft. We don't need to use the pH bonder in with our blue oil system, and because the blue oil system is so nice to the hair, it's not necessary. So through zone 2, we'll be using up to 7 with our pH bonder. Alright, so we're all mixed up. I have mixed up my blue oil lightener with 2 packets, our 1 ounce of oil and 2 ounces of 20 volume developer. And then I've mixed up 2 batches of our up to 7 lightener. I wanted to do 2 batches because in case for any reason I can't get her fully applied within 5 minutes, I want to go ahead and remix to get the maximum lift life out of our lightener. So an ounce of 20 volume developer in each, and then once we're ready to get mixed up and apply it, I will add our pH bonder. So let's go ahead and apply it. So we're all finished now. We're going to let Makayla sit at room temperature for up to 50 minutes. However, we are going to be checking on her about every 10 to 15, just because we're working with lightener and it's very unpredictable. It is not like a permanent color. We're not sure how it's going to work. So I'll see you in about 50 minutes. All right, so it's been 50 minutes. We checked on Makayla every 10 minutes to make sure she was all right. Now we're going to go back to the shampoo bowl, get her rinsed out and shampooed with our Redken Extreme, which is our protein-based line. And then we're going to flash blow dry her and get her all ready to tone. All right, let's go. So she's 100% dry, ready for her toner. As you can see, we got her to about a level 8. She's got a lot of yellow-orange undertones. There's a little bit of yellow in there, but mostly we're seeing some yellow-orange. So let's go and get her toner mixed up. With Makayla's toner, like we said, her inspiration is that chilled blonde look. However, we know that lifting is very unpredictable, so we want to get our guests as close as possible, but also keep the integrity of the hair at our very forefront. We want to make sure the hair stays healthy and that she's going to have a beautiful conditioned look once we're all finished. So we're going to keep her at her level 8, and we're going to tone her at that level as well. So we're going to actually be mixing 09P Pearl and our 08N. The two mixed together are fantastic because the Pearl is going to have those blue-violet undertones that we want to counteract any of those yellow-orange undertones that we've exposed. But then they both have a base. One has a brown to tan background and one has a black to gray background. So they're really going to give the color depth and it's not going to look hollow or shallow. We're going to mix them in a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're going to use an ounce of the P and an ounce of the N mixed with 2 ounces of our Shades EQ processing solution. All right, let's go tone. Once we get this all on, we're gonna, again, put it on dry hair. She's gonna sit for 20 minutes and then we'll go to our next step. All right, so it's been 20 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and get Makayla rinsed. Once we rinse out our toner, we're actually not gonna shampoo her first. First, we're gonna be using our step 2 of our pH bond treatment. That's gonna sit in for 10 minutes. After that, we will shampoo with our Color Extend Magnetic Shampoo and then follow up with our Color Extend Conditioner. We've gotten Makayla all rinsed out. She's been shampooed with our Color Extend Magnetics. We made sure we did our step 2 of our pH bonder, and I went ahead and got her section for her haircut. So with her haircut, when we do a pixie cut, each area of the head is going to be treated differently, depending on how they want it to look. If they're wanting that asymmetrical side, making sure that we're treating each area differently, keeping those in mind. So her hair is a little bit short in the back, so normally we would section out the nape part and clip the back of the head up separately. We'd treat the nape differently than we would treat the back of the head. We can section the back of the head into 2, left and right. We have our 2 front sides, left and right, and then we did a parietal ridge sectioning on the top, and we went ahead and did split the parietal ridge section in half using the top of the head to the top of the ears. So we're going to actually start in the back of her, in the nape section. What we're going to do is, again, keeping in mind that we're treating the top of the head and the nape section completely different. So as we're taking our sectioning and our parting, understanding we're not cutting past where her nape line is. We're going to go ahead and start off of her hairline, taking a diagonal back parting. We're going to be using a diagonal finger position, and we're going to be doing a slight finger elevation. I wouldn't necessarily call it 45. I'd keep it around 25 to 30. Because Makayla does have very short hair, we really want to keep in mind throughout this whole cut that we're keeping her hair really saturated so we can have nice, clean sectioning. We're going to do this throughout the whole nape section. Once we get to the center back, we're going to flip and reverse our angle to continue to do a diagonal back on this side. Subsection, and this time, instead of using a diagonal finger positioning, we're going to go straight up to vertical finger positioning using a guide from our nape section. We have a vertical finger positioning, straight finger angle, guide from our nape section, and cut. We're going to continue this method using a mobile guide from the previous section. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and move on to the left section of her head. I'm also moving Makayla in her chair. I want to make sure that you all can see, but I also want to make sure I'm as close to standing in front of my section as possible. We do know that if we're cutting on a live cutting. We're going to be in front of our section to get the best results. Again, for facilitating purposes, we're moving Makayla to adjust, and I'm slightly off to the side. We're going to continue cutting the back section. So once we finish up the back, left and right, we're going to actually use the exact same partings and sectionings to do the front side. So vertical finger positioning, a straight finger angle, using a mobile guide from the previous section to cut our current section. So we're going to go ahead and move to the top section. So on the top section, we're going to start in the back. We're actually going to be using the top of our head as one of our points of references for this section. And we're going to be doing a pivotal sectioning, so high sectioning essentially. Using our guide from our back section, we're going to be doing a straight finger angle, but we're going to be doing a 90-degree off of the top of her head. So we have a horizontal finger positioning, a straight finger angle, off 90 degrees off of the top of her head, our guide from our back section. So once we get to the top of her head, you can see we're going to be straight up. Again, we're going to be using a mobile guide from the previous section to cut our current section. We're going to repeat on the left side, same thing on the right side. All right, so we're finishing up our last section here on the back of the head. We're going to go ahead and move to the front section of the top here. The first thing we're going to do though is section out our fringe. We're going to section out our fringe 2 inches back from the hairline to the corner of the eyebrows. Once we have our fringe sectioned out, we're going to kind of use the same technique we did the back, top back for the top front area. We're going to be using the top back, a section from the top back as our guide. And again, we're going to be taking pivotal partings off of the top of her head. So using a piece from our back here, a horizontal finger position, a straight finger angle, off the 90 degrees of the head. We're going to do this on the right side and then do it on the left side. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move to her fringe. So Makayla likes to wear her fringe straight down sometimes. She also likes to swoop it to the side. So all we're going to do is take the fringe into 2 sections, comb it straight down using a horizontal finger position, a straight finger angle, and then we're going to over direct it to the left. We're going to do that on the left hand side. And then taking our section from the right side and repeating. Horizontal finger position at a straight finger angle. And there we are. So my favorite part about doing a short haircut or a pixie haircut is the detailing and the texturizing and the personalizing at the end. So we're going to go ahead and do that now for Makayla. We're going to clean up around her ears. We're going to do a little bit of shear over comb to tighten up around her nape. We're going to give her a little bit of texture and movement throughout the top, and then we'll get her all styled. We are all finished. We've got her styled and detailed. And while we were styling out, we of course discussed future appointments to get her closer to that chilled blonde look. But for step 1, I think we did pretty good. I think we did great. I think we did great. Alright, so here we are. Thank you guys so much again for joining us at Store 343, where the possibilities are beautiful.